During World War II, the German High Command was absolutely convinced of one thing. They had a massive spy network embedded in the heart of Britain, consisting of 27 elite agents. Based on the top-secret intel from these agents, the Nazis made a fatal miscalculation regarding their defense of Normandy. However, until the fall of Berlin, Hitler never knew the truth. There were no 27 agents. All the intelligence that decided the fate of the war came from one man, an epic loser. Juan Pujol García, a man who, by the age of 30, had failed at every major life choice. During the Spanish Civil War, he hid in his girlfriend's house for 6 months like a hamster to dodge the draft, but got caught anyway. He forged papers to defect, but looked so suspicious that the other side threw him in prison too. Finally, during the Great Depression, when everyone was saving money, he took his father's life savings and bought the dip on a chicken farm. Months later, the chickens died and he lost everything. Looking at the mess of feathers, this balding, penniless man realized, since he couldn't even manage a chicken coop, his only remaining option was to manage the outcome of World War II. In 1941, driven by a hatred for fascism, Juan decided to save Great Britain. His plan had a distinct DIY charm. He simply walked up to the front door of the British Embassy in Madrid, knocked, and said, "Hello, I would like a job as a spy, please." The British diplomats were baffled. Espionage is a game of shadows, not a job fair. Looking at this balding chicken farmer with thick glasses who spoke zero English, the British rejected him 3 times. The last time, they practically told him to get out before we called police. Standing on the sidewalk, Juan had a stroke of genius. The British are too professional to hire me, but the Nazis, they are a shoddy outfit. They might just hire me. If I become a German spy first, the British will have to hire me as a double agent. He was right. He walked into the German embassy. No intel, no background, just acting. He slammed the table, shouted "Heil Hitler," and played the role of a fanatical fascist. The Germans actually believed him. They hired him, gave him the code name Alaric, invisible ink, and a pile of cash to go spy in London. One walked out, terrified and thrilled. There was just one small problem. He had no passport, no visa, and absolutely no intention of going to London. The Germans thought their ace agent was deep undercover in Britain. In reality, Juan took their money and moved comfortably to Lisbon, Portugal. Here, he built his intelligence center using the amateur starter pack. A British travel guide bought a local bookstore, an outdated map, and a train timetable. With these 3 books, he started writing fiction. He used a timetable to fake troop movements and the travel guide to fake local color. He played 27 different characters, single-handedly inventing a ghost army on paper. This closed-door operation obviously had bugs. The classic one, he wrote in a report, "My source in Glasgow tells me the workers there will do anything for a liter of red wine. Anyone with common sense knows Scots drink whiskey. This should have been a fatal giveaway." But the Nazi intelligence machine, a house of cards built on incompetence, engaged in self-rationalization. They exclaimed, "My God! The blockade on Britain is so severe that even the tough men of Glasgow are forced to drink red wine." So, the Nazis not only bought the lie, they gave him a raise. This insane fraud finally alerted MI5. They intercepted the cables and panicked. There's a massive spy network in Britain we know nothing about. They launched a global manhunt and finally cornered this Nazi spy king in Lisbon. The atmosphere was incredibly awkward. The British agents realized that the mastermind terrifying the empire was the same job seeker they had kicked out as trash a year ago. After the shame faded, they realized they had struck gold. They flew him to London and gave him the code name Garbo, a tribute to his acting skills. 1944, D-Day. The fate of humanity rested on Garbo. His mission for Operation Bodyguard: convince Hitler that Normandy was a fake attack and the real invasion would be at Calais. Thousands of mixed messages flew to Berlin. He tearfully described seeing tanks, inflatable ones, massing in Dover, ready to attack Calais. June 6, 1944. The Allied fleet stormed Normandy, but across the Channel, Hitler's elite panzer divisions were waiting like wolves. If they moved to Normandy, the Allies would be crushed. At 3 a.m., Garbo sat at his radio to send the final, critical message. Normandy is a diversion. The main force is at Calais. Don't move. He pressed send. No reply. At this moment deciding the world's fate, the Third Reich's communication chain snapped, simply because the German radio operator fell asleep. The operator didn't wake up until 8 a.m. By then, the battle for Normandy had begun. Garbo didn't panic. He pulled a god-tier move beyond any spy's pay grade. He raged like an angry client screaming at customer service. My people are risking their lives, and you are sleeping. It's disgusting. Do you even want to win this war? This confident anger conquered the German High Command. They thought, if he's this mad, the intel must be real. Hitler believed it. He issued the stupidest order of the war. The panzers were to hold their position in Calais, waiting for a General Patton who would never arrive. Miles away, the Allies secured the beachhead. The death knell for the Nazis had rung. The ending is pure black comedy. Technically, the Germans lost, so they should have shot him. But Garbo used top-tier manipulation. Luckily, you listened to me and kept your reserves at Calais, or you would have fallen for the Allied trap at Normandy. The Germans actually believed it. They felt it was a strategic victory. So, Hitler personally awarded him the Nazis' highest honor, the Iron Cross. 2 months later, the King of England secretly awarded him the MBE. The man who couldn't raise chickens became the only spy in history to receive the highest honors from both sides of the war. After the war, he faked his death, took his Nazi pension, and opened a bookstore in South America. Looking back, Juan was a loser who failed at everything before 30. But fate is absurd. It was precisely because he had nothing to lose that he dared to bet the future of humanity at that table. The world really is just a giant improv show, full of arrogant officers and sleeping operators. But exactly because the world is a shoddy outfit, ordinary people like Juan get the chance to rewrite the script. That is a charm of history. Sometimes it allows a butterfly or a chicken farmer to flap his wings and summon a storm that saves a world.